Hey folks, hey, how are you? This is Wesley, Millionaire Virgin here. This video is entitled, oh wow, give me a second. This video is entitled, How to Get Hired by a Millionaire Every Single Time here. Okay, give me a second. Perfect here. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Wesley, Billion-Dollar Virgin, and I want to give you some value in this video here. I get questions every day to my inbox here at Wesley, Million-Dollar Virgin, and someone asked me this question, right? They said, well, Wesley, okay, I want to be hired by a millionaire, one, and this other person said, well, Wesley, I have trouble interviewing, right? So when I sit in the chair to get ready to get a job, my mind goes blank. Is anybody like this? How about you? Listen, you know when you interview, like, I'm not going to say this guy's name, but I know someone, every time they will attempt to interview for a promotion, okay, or a job, their brain will freeze. They don't know what to say. And what I want to do in this video here, I want to show you exactly what to say to get hired every single time. Does it make sense? Listen, every single time. I did this when I used to work for a job, and I used to work for people, and I always was the you know, the funny thing is this, I don't even have a degree, okay? And I used to always get jobs that paid me like $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, using these techniques. So, hey, if you guys want me to give them to you right now, give me a like. All right, listen. All right, is everybody ready? Go ahead and come with the word. Let's go! Okay, now listen. Warning. Yes, I do not want you to get a job, but I understand the reality is most of you will have a job until you can make some money, okay? So I thought to myself, I said, you know, I love everybody that follow me around the world. Like I love you, right? I appreciate you as well from the top of my heart. Sorry, my heart is over here. From the top of my heart. And I understand that people still have jobs. And I understand that even though I want you to leave your job and chase your dreams, the reality is most people won't. So I said, you know what? How about I give them a few things I used to do when I used to sit in interviews, right? And it worked every single time. I 99% of the time, I will always get the job. And I'm going to give you these techniques and these tactics right now in this video. All I ask for is a like right now if it works and if it resonates with you, okay? Now, listen. And this works for millionaires, CEOs, managers, supervisors. I don't care if you want to be a waiter. I don't care if you want to be a business person. I don't care if you want to sit in a cubicle. This works for anybody because people are people at the end of the day. Listen, when you sit in a chair, right, usually the person says, tell me about yourself, right? Listen, tell me about yourself. Hey, you big head, tell me about yourself, right? This is usually the first question that the interviewing manager asks you when you get ready to get a job. Now watch this. What would you say? If I say, hey, tell me about yourself. Most people like this. I grew up on the south side of South Dakota. My mom, she does drugs. Listen, this is mistake number one. When the manager asks you, tell you about themselves, or tell you about yourself, they don't want to know your life story, bruh, or young lady. They don't care about your mama, your daddy, when you were born. This is what they care about. When they ask you, tell me about yourself. Because I ask people, like I hire people quite frequently here, right? And, you know, when I ask people, I say, tell me about yourself. Well, you know, I'm a good person. I go to church. I don't care. So what do I care about as a hiring manager, okay? See if you was going to interview for me. If I ask you to tell me about yourself, I want to know what can you do for my company to make me more money or to increase the quality of service. That's it. All I want to know based off your experience, I want to know what skills, or what you can do for me that's going to cause me to hire you. That's it. Okay? I don't care about your friend Pookie and Ray Ray. Okay? I don't care about that you went on vacation last week with your boys or girls. All I want to know, that's any hiring manager on the planet, he or she wants to know, what type of value can you bring to me? That's it. What type of value can you bring if you start working? You may say, well, I'm really proficient with, listen, I used to be a computer engineer, me personally. So when they say, Wesley, tell me about yourself, I say, well, great. Well, I'm an engineer, and what I do is I help people like you, right, design your computer systems in a way that they don't fail, one, and it provides more service for the customer, okay? That's what I do well. We create different systems, such as what your company do, very robust systems here, and we've created different type of technologies called Citrix, and I am able to ensure these systems are up 100%. So that's what I used to do, right? Didn't that sound good? That's number one. Make sure you just communicate what can you do for that company. That's all you have to do. It's powerful. Two, okay? Give me a like if that makes sense. That'll change the game. Okay, let me give you number two. Listen, when the interview, look at me. Hello, look at me, okay? Hey, you're looking good today, by the way. You're looking good today. I like that. Let's go! Listen, have you ever been in that chair and the interview person says this? Watch this. Well, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Virgin? Do you have any questions for me? How many of you hit the like button? Just give me a thumbs up if you didn't know what to say. Like they said, hey, do you have any further questions for me? And you were like, no. Some of you got your book, you open up your little binder. No, I think that's about it. Listen, wrong. This is what you say, okay? So after the interview, okay, the manager or the hiring person is going to ask you, well, do you have any questions? This is what you say. You say, absolutely. First question, I want you to tell me one problem that you're having in your company right now. Like, I want you to think for a second. What's one problem that you're currently experiencing in your company right now that you want tackled immediately? Give me a thumb. That was powerful, right? Let me say it again. Let me say slow. This works for any business. Say, because all companies have problems. So I say, hey, what is one problem that your company is currently experiencing right now that you want someone to solve immediately? They're going to tell you the problem. They said, well, so they used to ask me, well, Wesley, right now in our computer environment, we're having problems with an application called Citrix. I was a Citrix engineer, and they had problems printing. Okay, that's a big problem with Citrix back in the day. And they said, well, we have a big printing problem with our users. I said, great. So let me share something with you. Have you tried this? Have you tried changing the drivers on the printer and applying them to all the different servers, right? Instead of changing the drivers on the user computer, have you tried the server? Because you know what? You know what's so funny? That issue I had at my last company. You see what I'm doing here? So what you do is you solve the problem in the interview. I know you're thinking, this man is a genius. Yes, I mean a little bit. All you have to do is solve the manager's problem in the interview. It works for me too. Listen, if you ever have the opportunity for me to interview you, and I say, hey, you, big head, a pretty boy or pretty girl, listen, what is one problem? You ask me this. What is one problem that you're facing right now in your business, Wesley? And I'm going to tell you. I say, well, we need more traffic. We need more money. Then what you do is you communicate to me and you tell me how you're going to solve that problem. Give me a thumbs up if that made perfect sense. I know what you're thinking. This is gold, right? Unfortunately, they don't teach this in school. But this is powerful. This is influence here. Okay? Now, we got two. Let me give you another one. If you guys want another one, I want you to comment right now. Let's go! Listen, I used to get all the jobs all day long. Now check this out. It's another question that you want to ask the hiring manager here. Okay, look at me. What you want to say is this. Great, okay, you solved the problem, like you asked what the problem was. You solved it in the interview. You say, have you thought about this and this, and this is what I would do if I was working. I would do this, right? It's called pacing yourself, right? Pacing and leading. You're putting yourself in the actual position, even though you only have the job, but you're pacing yourself as if you actually have the job, all right? So in his mind, he feels that you're working for him already, okay? Now listen, the next question you want to say is this. Now this is powerful. Let me ask you one more question. What are you looking for today to make a decision? Like, you're going to interview all these people, but what are you absolutely looking for today to make a decision today that this person is the person that you want a part of your team? Let me say it again. Let me say it slowly. Listen. It works with any person, any hiring manager. This works. Listen, do it just like this. Study this video a while. What today is going to cause you to make a decision today to hire a person to be a part of your team ASAP? Like, what do you need to see? What do you need to hear today? Or what are you looking for in a person today that would allow you to bring them on board today? And he's going to tell you, well, I'm looking for someone that is on time. I'm looking for someone that's studious. Looking for someone who's able to work well with people. I'm looking for someone who is charismatic. I'm looking for someone who's ambitious. I'm looking for someone who pays attention to detail here, okay? Then guess what you say? Does anybody know? What do you say when you hear them? Because the questions are powerful, right? Because you want the hiring manager talking. Like, as a millionaire, this works for millionaires too and billionaires. You want them talking to you because you control the conversation. You control the narrative that way. Now I've got too many jobs like this. Listen, when the interviewer says that I'm looking for someone that's ambitious, studious, on time, someone pays attention to detail, you say, oh, great. You know, in my last position, my manager will always comment that I was always on time, because I like to get there early, before the traffic and before other people get there, just to get a head start. I was also very studious here. And also, it's funny that you said that someone that pays attention to detail. One thing that I do is when I do a job, I do a project, I go over it about 10 times by myself, even at home. Okay, is that okay? I mean, even at home, right? So what you do is you just repeat exactly what he said or she said, and say that she said that you got that at the last job. It works every time. Let me give you one more. If you want one more, then give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna give you one more that's powerful. This is powerful. If you're enjoying yourself, let's go. Listen, you'll be able to get any job from millionaires, billionaires, regular jobs, promotions. This works with anybody. You will set yourself apart from other people. Listen, so before you leave, this is what I used to say. I was like, okay, so great. I heard some great things here today. And I said, one final question. Is it okay? Now write this down. Is it okay that I work a bit late? Because this is how it is. I'm an early riser and I like to stay there late. So is it any type of access card that I would need just in case the door's locked? Because I like to work a little bit longer than the other team members. Is that okay? So is there any type of access key that I need? He was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll give you an access key to make sure that you can work as long as you want. So now in that manager's mind, he feels that you are a hard worker because now you're pacing yourself like you're already in the job. Because you're asking them, say, hey, if it's okay, I like to work late. Now, tell me what boss or manager doesn't like people to work late. I know I do. I have 50 people that work for me around the world, and I want them to work late and hard, okay, period. Listen, when you ask that person that, he's like, wow. And then you say, well, is it any access card or gate code I need to make sure I can get out or get in because I like to work late? He can be like, absolutely. We'll issue you an access card and you can work as long as you want. Powerful. Give me a thumbs up right now if you can use those techniques to get promotions. You can always get the job and you'll be able to work for people like me. Okay? All the time. All right? Listen, watch the video again. I'm going to give you one more. Give me a like right now if they make perfect sense, because it does. You will be able to have interview skills on a different level. But let me give you one more. This is my secret. This is like my arsenal. Like, this is like my sword, right? That I used to pull out when I used to lose jobs and I needed one immediately. Listen, this is the technique that I use to get $100,000 per year jobs. This is what you do. No one does, look at me, no one does this. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Wesley, I like you. I know you do, I like you too. Come here, hit the like button. Like, share. Listen, all right. So when you go home, see now most people, you know what they do? They might write most people do nothing. They do this. Let me tell you what most people do. Watch this. They're like, when are they gonna call me, right? Most people that interview for jobs are waiting like dummies, right? Dummies, waiting for people to call them, right? You don't want to need the job, you need the money, and you're waiting. Wrong. No more waiting. Now, the average person, this is what they do. Listen, the average person does this. Well, let me write a thank you letter. How many of you have ever wrote a thank you letter to your hiring manager? Okay? How many of you ever did that? Write a thank you letter, right? You're like, hey, thank you so much today. I appreciate the interview today, and I can't wait to get started, working for your company here, and, hopefully you'll choose me because I got some great, listen, don't do that. That's what average people do, okay? As you've noticed, I'm a above average guy. And if you want to be above average, you have to do above average things. Now listen, this is what I did. I did this in my early 20s, right? And I know what you're thinking. Wesley, you're not 20? I'm not. I just look this way, right? Listen, when you get home, you write the letter, okay? The thank you letter. And in the thank you letter, you say, thank you so much. I appreciate the interview. And in the letter itself, you say, I was still thinking about that problem that we discussed in the meeting. And I have some more ideas that I want to bring to you once you bring me on board. Okay? See what I'm doing now? I'm pacing myself that I'm already in the job. And then you take the letter, okay? And you fold it nicely. And then you go to FedEx, right? You go to FedEx and you send the letter to the manager, certified, signature required. Okay? Hello? You send the letter to the hiring manager, right? Signature required, FedEx certified mail. Now, how many people do that? Nobody. Right? Somebody said I look 38. Really? I look 38? Come on. Listen, send a certified mail, FedEx, to the hiring manager, okay? That hiring manager will absolutely for sure get it. It's going to set you apart from all the scrubs, all the average people, all the Pookie and Ray Rays. And then, trust me, you will get the job. Now, if I deserve a like, give me a like right now, okay? If you guys can apply this, I want you to apply this right now. Your next position. How many of you looking for a job? How many of you want to work for me? Okay? Listen. Use everything that I just showed you in this video. I guarantee you 99% of the time you will always get the job. This works for promotions. This works for any job that you want on the planet, okay? Is that cool? Hey, if you want me to do more videos like this, I know I talk a lot about money and success. And look at my finger. In the description, hey, look, below, I have some links here that I want to share with you as well. If you want to know more about what I do and how I help people like you go from average to above average, from poor and average to rich. Listen, you don't have to click any links below. I just giving you the option to click it if you want to here. But if you want me to do more videos like this, because I still want to be, I still want to be connected to reality, because like I'm rich, I'm very rich, very wealthy. And sometimes you forget that some people still got to have jobs. Even though I want you to leave your job, some of you still fearful and you're afraid. So I get it. So what I want you to do is play with the system a little bit, right? Learn how to use the system to your benefit until you have enough money to be able to get the job, get the business of your dreams. Listen, the only person on the planet that you should work for is me. Hey, love you so much. This is Wesley.